Hello, everyone, and welcome to this user guide for the OnSource Discovery module. You arrive at the home screen. To start a market discovery, click on New Project. You enter the name of your project. If it's a contract renewal or an acquisition, we'll choose a renewal here. If it's a software or service renewal, we'll choose a software renewal and identify alternatives. We will enter a due date, which is the renewal date. You need to enter the project description or add a file, which could be the contract that is being renewed. We will enter the description in this field and initialize the project by clicking the Create button. OnSource has retrieved your context and broken it down into several blocks: a project overview block, a background block, an objectives block, and a prerequisites block. On the right, you have the Copilot tips. Each time, there's a description of what's expected in the left block and contextual tips for improvement related to your issue. You can edit each block to add or modify information. At the top, you have this Expand Reasoning button. It shows how OnSource understood your problem and the search parameters. So here, we're looking for a global HRIS provider specialized for mid-sized companies in the logistics sector. And here you have all the features and prerequisites that have been included. Let's move on to the specification step here, where you can add grading criteria or enrich a list based on what you've already entered in the Scope tab. All the scoring criteria are adjustable. You can adjust the weight each time. Delete them by clicking on Delete Selected. Modify them and add more if you think any are missing. We move on to the solution provider step. So the same model, either you add suppliers you have already identified, or you ask OnSource to identify the most relevant suppliers. So now we are going to enrich the list. The list was generated with about 10 actors. You have access to the URLs of the sites to check the suppliers. You also have metadata that allows you to see the size of the companies and their country of origin. Finally, the last tab, Competitive Analysis, maps the actors across several dimensions: performance, viability, and estimated budgets. On this view, you can see where the players are positioned, along with their ratings and an initial budget level. If you want more details, this view explains the rationale behind each of the scores. So in this case, Oracle has a score of 8 out of 10 for documentation. Finally, the budget aspect. Several dimensions: one-time fee, which is an estimate of the setup cost, and the recurring fee with a rationale and references that allow for calculating this estimate. In just a few clicks, we created a sourcing project with a scope that we refined in the Scope tab using OnSource's advice, generated rating criteria, and a list of market solutions that address the issues. Then, these solutions were scored on this quadrant, allowing you to discover your market in just a few clicks and, if necessary, contact your suppliers to get additional information. Thank you very much.